Alex here. Coming up in this video,
we're talking Krypton and Krypton Season 2.
We're also talking Titans Series 2.
And the new Batman movie.
And Lucifer Series 5.
And we'll also be wrapping up our latest poll and going through a few results.
And we'll be telling you the new poll for next month.
For next time. Well, Mr. P, I think we need to talk about Krypton.
We do indeed.
DC on sci-fi.
Yes, we do. It's a little bit underrated, Krypton. If you know about it, you know about it.
Yeah.
Even when it was advertised, there wasn't really a lot.
Wasn't loads, which you'd imagine,
No.
you know, Superman's a massive franchise, isn't it? And you'd think there'd be a bit more. It's a bit of a slow burner, but the main thing is that once people do find it, they like it and they stick with it.
Yeah.
I haven't heard a bad word said about it, to be fair. Not at all.
It's for those that haven't seen it, well, from the name, obviously, it's in the Superman universe. Set 200 years before Kal-El is born, or Superman is born.
Yeah, that's right.
And it follows his great grandfather.
His grandfather Segel, doesn't it?
Segel, yes. And it's, well, basically it shows you Krypton and how the houses sort of
how all the houses
develop.
work, the Zods and the Elves and the others. There's very many, isn't there?
Yeah. I think one of the things I like about it, because it's Krypton, they have no superpowers.
No.
Superman only gets his superpowers
from the
our yellow
sun.
So,
yeah.
I didn't think I was going to like it.
No.
But they kind of introduced Superman anyway, because right at the beginning, you get a time traveller turns up with Superman's cape and says basically something's gone wrong, and it's
basically something's gone wrong with time, and we must try and sort it out. And it's quite interesting as well that they have Val-El as well, who's Segel's grandfather, and he actually starts bringing up he's a scientific brain. And he brings up like the problems that Krypton's going to have in the future, which obviously we're well aware of when the planet goes to crap basically and explodes. And it's interesting that like even 200 years before Kal-El was born, they're talking about it, yet they still don't sort it out, do they?
We've got Brainiac's the kind of bad,
the main nemesis, isn't it?
that's still running through into Series 2.
Yes.
Which is it out yet, or is it coming out?
No, it's out, isn't it?
It's out now.
Yeah. I've watched the first 3 episodes. You've got a few to catch up with, haven't you? The time travel element carries on as well. It's not just at the start, and it does allow them to bring other characters from that universe in from different stages of their life into that timeline. So it's quite interesting. I won't give any names out because it'll spoil it for you. It's going well.
I think it's worth noting as well that this stands separate to anything else, so it's not actually part of any other universe. It's not part of the DC TV universe, so it's not part of the Arrow Flashverse. It's not part of the movie universe, so it doesn't.
No. Although style is very similar to Man of Steel, isn't it?
It's very Man of Steel.
Even the score, but then, as we were discussing earlier, it's actually got David S. Goyer as executive producer, who was producer and screenwriter on Man of Steel. And I think they said at the start when it first came out, they wanted to bring little elements from that into it, but it doesn't, like you say, it doesn't actually connect to the movie.
No, it's completely on its own, which is quite nice because they can basically do anything with it. It's Man of Steel in terms of style maybe and the way it looks.
Yeah.
The cape could be anything from like the Dean Cain era, it could be the Chris Reeve era. So there's bits and pieces.
Yeah, and it's quite good as well because we've seen shows where they really try to keep within one big universe and trying to keep everything canon, and sometimes it can go a little bit wrong, can't it? And people can be on the Twitter and Insta universe making a few complaints. So I think it's quite nice that it's not connected in one way, because at least they can do what they need to do, can't they?
Yeah, Cameron Cuff, of course, playing Segel, and as we said, it's just out now. So if you've not watched it, go rewatch Series 1. It's really, really good.
Yeah, definitely start with Series 1. Okay, so the next poll coming up, which will be appearing on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, but obviously hosted by Twitter because it's the place that's easiest. I think that's probably where most of our followers are, so we'll do it on there. We're going to be doing a favourite TV vehicle this time, and we've got some good ones we're going to put in there. We've got Kit from Knight Rider. We've got, of course, the A-Team van from the A-Team, BA's precious van. And we've also got the Impala baby from Supernatural, Dean's car, which we had to put in there. And just finally, it wouldn't be a favourite TV vehicle poll if this vehicle wasn't in it. We've got Doc Emmett Brown's DeLorean. So go on to Twitter, have a look at the poll when we put it up next week, and tell us what your favourite TV vehicle is.
So, Titans.
Yes.
Series 2.
Season 2 is coming out fairly soon.
Yes. I must admit, I'm still working my way through Series 1. I'm behind.
Yeah.
Slightly. Only a few episodes behind, but I've still got to watch it. But it's pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah, and I was a little bit concerned at the start because I know you like your DC Universe stuff, and I wondered whether you'd like it. But I thought, kind of with the style, and there's a bit of humour in there, some good action, and the characters were all pretty interesting. I thought there was a good chance that you would like it, and he does.
And I do. Yeah, really good. And I mean, Titans basically is Robin, as in Batman and Robin, and that is Dick Grayson's Robin.
Yeah.
He basically moves away from Batman. They kind of a bit of a falling out. And, he comes away from him, and he ends up basically by accident creating his own team to fight the darkness.
Yeah, I mean he joins up with the Birdman, doesn't he, and his girlfriend first when he's first estranged from Bruce Wayne, and it's kind of they don't go into it too much, but you kind of get the feeling that he's not very happy with how Batman was doing things, and it was too much violence, and so he wanted to step away from that. Which he doesn't do very successfully because he just carries on being violent because that's the only way to deal with violent criminals is to be violent back. So
that's a controversial thing to say. Is it the only way to deal with them?
Well, certainly in that show.
Surely in that show.
Not in the real world, but I'm certainly not suggesting anybody do that. But no, but it's quite nice. You've got he joins up with Raven and Firebird, and of course, going through the whole series, it's all about Raven and Rachel, about her father, and there's a big mystery there, and people are looking for him and trying to bring him into this world. And so it's basically they're all wrapped up in that, aren't they? And Robin's using a little bit of Bruce Wayne's tech here and there, and
it's very serialised. So you kind of you need to watch them in order as the story unfolds. You don't really see a lot of Batman at all.
No.
Brief images just in the shadows.
Silhouettes and in the shadows and things.
And the big news, of course, is we now have Bruce Wayne cast for Series 2.
Season 2. Good old Iain Glen.
Yeah, which is going to be good, because kind of an older Batman. Iain Glen, of course, is from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Sir Jorah in Game of Thrones, so everybody will recognise him. Hopefully that might bring a few more fans into watching it as well. But it sounds like, from what we were discussing earlier, as though Bruce Wayne's going to have to come in and help them out, because he sees that Robin's in a bit of bother. So yeah, I think we're going to see more of Bruce Wayne. Whether we see Batman, whether we see him suited up,
I think that's going to happen at some point.
At some point,
I don't think you can bring Bruce
it?
Wayne into Titans and not have him as Batman.
No, they must do. So that'll be good. It'll be interesting to see his version. I'm thinking it might be quite good.
The teaser trailer dropped for Series 2 very recently, and big news for that is, of course, we get Superboy in Series 2.
Connor Kent.
Played by Joshua Orpin. And it's interesting to note that it is, in fact, the comic Superboy.
The comic Superboy, yeah.
Wearing sort of just jeans and a black T-shirt with
the
Superman
logo on the L logo.
So that's interesting, because obviously in the comics, as in we guess with this, Superboy isn't. He's basically an experiment
Yeah.
was made.
With Superman's DNA, isn't it?
Stolen DNA from Superman and spliced together, well, in the comics, with Lex Luthor's DNA.
Mm.
Whether that's going to be the case
Yeah,
in this or not.
we don't know.
Which
maybe.
means he's kind of only half the strength of Superman.
Yeah.
But he's only half susceptible to kryptonite as well.
Kryptonite as well, which is interesting.
In the teaser trailer, we see him rip open the cage with his kryptonite control.
Yeah.
So he gets close enough to it to actually do that.
Yeah. So
To release Krypto, the superdog, which is also probably, I guess, in series 2. So I'm quite looking forward to that.
Yeah,
I do
that's
like
going
my
to be
super
interesting.
characters.
Yeah, that's going to be really good. We're looking forward to Superboy coming in and see what he gets up to, and whether he helps the team or hinders them.
Yeah, it's going to be good. So yeah, we recommend series 1, and we're really looking forward to series 2.
Season 2. Yeah. I don't think that we can talk about Titans Season 2 and Batman coming into the show without having a quick word about The Batman, the new solo Batman film, which is due out in 2021, directed by Matthew Reeves, and we've heard not long ago that Robert Pattinson is going to be playing Bruce Wayne and Batman, obviously best known from the Twilight series of films. So we don't know what he's going to be like. What do you think?
You know, the internet went a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
And the whole film has issues from the beginning.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck, of course, was slated to play the title role and even direct at one point.
Yeah.
And that would have been epic.
It would have been. I think this might be a little bit unpopular, but I quite like Ben Affleck as Batman.
Yeah, I thought he was
Bruce
good.
Wayne, I thought he was pretty good. I think he gets talked down quite a bit, and I think he did a good job. And had he had a decent solo Batman film, I think he'd be better thought of. I think it was the movies that let the actor down rather than the actor. I think Justice League and Batman v Superman, I mean, they just didn't quite hit the spot, did they?
No.
They made some big mistakes in those films, which we've talked about a lot. So yeah, it would have been interesting to see Ben Affleck have a go in his own solo film. But
I thought it was really good. Jeremy Irons was fantastic.
Yeah.
As,
Alfred, yeah, it was good.
But he walked away from it. Then obviously he said he might still direct, but then he's not directing it. And then we found out about Robert Pattinson, and it was like the internet was like, you can't put him in the role. I think, controversial, I think it might work really well.
I think he might be quite good.
You've only really seen him in one particular role for such a long time, and I think you kind of just think that's that actor. But this will give him a chance to show his range.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting, and we've said for a long time we really need a new solo Batman and solo Superman. So hopefully the solo Batman will do really well, and that will push them to bring Superman back.
I hope so. Well, just as a complete segue for a second, I think in terms of Superman, they should just reboot the franchise, but keep Henry Cavill as Superman.
Yes, it will
bring
be good,
him, keep him as Superman, but just do a reboot and actually do what they should have done with it in the first place. I said to you when we watched Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
The flying sequences were really good, and I'm like, that's what they should have done with Superman.
Yeah, had they used that style in
It should
Superman,
have been a lot lighter and brighter, and
it was very dark and gritty, Man of Steel, wasn't it?
It was okay, but I think it could have been.
I think that's kind of where DC, and I think we've said recently that they're actually attending to this now. I think that they had a thing in the past of making all their shows and films too dark, too gritty, not enough humour. Which is obviously something Marvel was very good at. So I think they've seen the Marvel films doing well and what makes them good. And I think what we're seeing now with these new shows and new films from DC is they are bringing in a bit more humour, it is a bit lighter. So it's all good.
Yeah. Well, we just have to wait and see and find out exactly what the Batman is going to be like.
Yeah, that will be a whole video in of itself, I think, won't it, that one?
Yeah, we'll keep our ears to the ground and see what comes up. Hey, this is a real quick one. If you're collecting the Star Trek Discovery starships from Eagle Moss, you'll have received a tube-type package lately, and in it is contained 2 posters. If you're not subscribed, then this obviously is what you'd get if you were. And they're actually, they're kind of like marketing material, and they show you a selection of Federation ships and Klingon ships.
that they're going to be offering as part of their collection. Quite a few of these we've already got. So we've got Discovery already. Shenzhou, of course, was the first one. Europa has already been sent out. The Vulcan cruiser also. And Jaeger, I believe. Is Jaeger sent out? I believe.
Yeah, I believe so.
We're going to be recording the unboxing videos of some of those ships later on, so stay tuned. Also, Klingon ships. Again, we've already had one of the Klingon ships already, but there looks like quite a few more, and they do look quite menacing. But this was just a quick look just to show you the posters that you get with the subscription, to show you some of the ships that's coming out. They look really cool.
The very, very nice people at Netflix helped save Lucifer.
Yes, they did.
Hashtag save Lucifer.
The lucky devil. Saved.
And we had a series 4.
We did.
Which was very good. And they've announced they're doing a series 5.
Yeah, the final season.
However, they've announced that is the last one.
Yeah, it is.
Tom Ellis himself said thank you to all the fans.
Yeah, he put quite a big, nice letter out to the fans, didn't he? Thank you.
Also
for
saying,
support.
please don't campaign for more. It is going to be the last series.
Do not break the internet again with the Save Lucifer hashtag. They pretty much said that, like, you know, if they kind of leave it alone for a bit after this one, and then they might be able to get some specials in later on, maybe.
I'm not sure where they're going to go with Series 5.
It's interesting. I mean, somebody was saying the other day, I saw online, they were saying, are they going to change it up a little bit and have a series where a lot of it's based in hell and trying to sort hell out so Lucifer can come back and be with the detective, with Decker? Or is he going to sort hell out and come back and then it's all going to be an LA again?
To be good. And if anything, there's, from like Series 4, it's all... Yeah. You get the impression that, you're told basically that the way he is because he's making himself that way.
Yeah.
And right at the end, when at the end of Series 4, if you've not watched Series 4, then I'm sorry, we are going to spoil it for you. She declares her love for him, and all of a sudden his devil wings have gone, and he's got angel wings.
And he's at angel wings again.
And so I think maybe will he try and get redeemed and
maybe he'll put maybe Dad will put another angel in fallen angel in charge of hell and promote Lucifer back to a proper angel again, and maybe he'll be able to come back. But it's going to be very interesting to see where they go with it. But we're going to like it whatever they do. I think they seem to be getting it pretty much spot on, don't they?
Yeah. I do like the fact that Decker knows that's just opened up the writing after.
I think it's good that they took the time doing that. The reveal where Chloe sees his devil face and realises who and what he is. I think if they'd have done that too quick, I don't think the series would have had the right kind of flow to it, and I think it may have ended well before where we've got to now. I think the fact that that's
been quite a few shows where there's been like a secret, and you think, well, what happens when that's over? Where do you go?
At the back.
I mean, The Mentalist, for example. In The Mentalist, Patrick Jane is trying to find who Red John is. And stop him, and he does eventually find that out. But once he's found that out, that driving force, that underlying arc all the way through has now disappeared. Yeah. So what do they do with them? Well, they switched it out and put them with the FBI. Yeah. And that kind of worked, but you just felt that they were just going through the motions, weren't they? It was like
pretty much.
You needed something else, some underlying thing, I think, to make it all work. So, but with Lucifer, it kind of worked because there's a whole cast of actors there who all have their own little storylines happening as well.
Yeah, the whole little storylines going on within the whole thing. I mean, you've got Maze who goes off and does her assassin bit, and you've got obviously the police work, and you've got the stuff with the club, you've got the stuff with the Menadil and the good doctor. So there's all kinds of stuff going on at the same time, but it does work. And I think it's quite interesting as well that there was kind of that thing in the background as well of, is Dad doing all this? Is God directing certain things, and kind of Lucifer suspects that at everything at the beginning, but as he goes further on, he's finding that it's more he's causing it, or it's all about him. He thinks that he's being mistreated, and he's actually mistreating himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, going to be good. So series 5 of Lucifer, that we'll see what happens when that comes out.
Yeah, it should be good.
And see what happens. But again, if you've not watched it, then we'd recommend it.
We do.
The Geeky Guys Award for Favourite TV Angel. The nominations are: from Good Omens, Aziraphale; from Constantine, Manny; from Lucifer, Amenadiel; and from Supernatural, Castiel. And the winner is from Supernatural, Castiel. Well done, Castiel. And just for those of you that wondered what the actual results were, out of the 109 people that voted, thank you very much for that. In last place, Manny with 12% of that. Amenadiel was in third place with 14%. Aziraphale from Good Omens 35% in second place. Castiel from Supernatural just pipped it at the post there with 39%.